We're live from New Delhi, you're watching DT India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Slumping polls and waning support in party make Justin Trudeau announce resignation after more than 9 years in power to leave office after party chooses new leader.
I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader.
Huge winter storm in the east coast of the U.S. upends normal life. Over 330,000 homes and businesses without power. Air travel crippled across the nation. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro slams U.S. for welcoming opposition leader Gonzalez, says Biden was backing a violent project to usurp the country's democracy. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump set to enter White House as a convicted felon as New York judge rejects request to delay sentencing in hush money case. And on to the details now. After 9 years in power, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced his resignation on Monday. Addressing a news conference in Ottawa, Trudeau said he would stay on both as Prime Minister and Liberal head until the party chooses a new leader to take it into the next election. He conceded that he was not the best candidate to lead the party into an election that must be held this year.
I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election.
Well, Trudeau also announced that Parliament would be prorogued or suspended until 24th of March.
I advised the Governor-General that we need a new session of Parliament. She has granted this request, and the House will now be prorogued until March 24th.
Well, Parliament was originally due to resume on January 27th, and opposition parties had vowed to bring down Trudeau's minority government as soon as they could. But with Parliament returning only on the 24th of March, the earliest they could present a non-confidence motion would be sometime in May. Trudeau served one of the longest Prime Minister terms in the last 75 years. Trudeau has faced growing calls to quit from inside his party, which ramped up in December when Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland resigned. And U.S. President-elect Donald Trump on Monday lost a bid to put off his sentencing later this week for his criminal conviction stemming from hush money paid to an adult star. A New York judge has rejected Trump's request to delay sentencing set for Friday in a hush money case. Judge Juan Merchan ruled last week that Trump's sentencing should go ahead on 10th of January despite his upcoming inauguration. Justice Merchan has given Trump, the first former president ever convicted of a crime, the option of appearing either in person or virtually at Friday's sentencing, and has said he was not inclined to impose a jail time on the former and future president. Trump's attorneys had asked the judge to delay sentencing while they appeal his conviction by a Manhattan jury. Trump was convicted in May last year of 34 counts of falsifying business records to cover up a hush money payment to an adult star on the eve of the 2016 election to stop her from revealing an alleged 2006 sexual encounter. Trump is to be sworn in as president on January 20th. Judges said he was leaning towards giving Trump an unconditional discharge. The sentence would nevertheless see Trump entering the White House as a convicted felon. And the U.S. Congress on Monday formally certified Republican President-elect Donald Trump's November election victory in a special session. Monday's ceremony in Congress officially validated the 2024 Electoral College results. The certification of the election results was accomplished in a brief, formal ceremony during a joint session of the House of Representatives and Senate. It was presided over by Kamala Harris, acting in her vice presidential role as president of the Senate. After the number of Electoral College votes were read out from each state, Harris certified that Trump won the U.S. presidency. The certification is normally a symbol of America's commitment to the peaceful transfer of power despite partisan disagreements. This constitutional procedure took place exactly 4 years after a mob of Trump supporters stormed the Capitol in a failed bid to block the certification of then-President Trump's 2020 loss to Democratic President Joe Biden. And Venezuelan opposition leader Edmundo Gonzalez, who claims he won last year's presidential election against incumbent President Nicolas Maduro, met with U.S. President Joe Biden on Monday. After the White House meeting, Gonzalez said he had a long, fruitful and cordial conversation with Biden. Gonzalez also said he's in contact with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump and expects a close relationship with the incoming administration. Gonzalez's visit to Washington comes as part of a regional tour just days before President Nicolas Maduro is set to be inaugurated for his third term after being recognized by Venezuela's top court and electoral authority as the winner of the election.
We had a long, fruitful and cordial conversation with President Biden and his team. It was a long conversation in which we addressed various aspects of the bilateral relationship. We were grateful for the support that the government of the United States have given for the democratic recovery of Venezuela. Our team is in contact with President Trump's team for some time now. We will continue on the same path because our relations will also be very close and beneficial for the relationship between Venezuela and the United States.
Well, the leader of Austria's far-right Freedom Party, Herbert Kickl, met country's President Alexander Van der Bellen as negotiations continue over the formation of a new government. The FPÖ won national elections in September for the first time, and Monday's meeting comes after coalition talks between Austria's two centrist parties collapsed over the weekend. On Sunday, the Conservative People's Party said it was ready to talk with the FPÖ. Meanwhile, the smallest of the three centrist parties in Austria's coalition talks, the liberal NEOs, are quitting the talks, throwing into turmoil the negotiations that have excluded the far-right Freedom Party. NEO's leader, Beat Mene Reinsinger, told a news conference the talks with Chancellor Karl Nehammer's Conservative People's Party and the centre-left Social Democrats had lacked ambition and made insufficient progress. And Syria's Foreign Minister Assad Hassan al-Shibani arrived in Abu Dhabi on Monday, where he was received by United Arab Emirates Minister of Foreign Affairs Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Shibani, who visited Qatar the previous day on his second foreign trip less than a month after former President Bashar al-Assad was ousted on December 8th, was accompanied by Syrian Defense Minister Murhaf Abu Kasra and Head of Intelligence Anas Khatab. Their first official visit to the Gulf country aims to discuss prospects for cooperation and coordination. Shibani embarked on his first foreign trip to Saudi Arabia on January 1st, where Saudi officials discussed how best to support Syria's political transition. He is expected to visit Jordan this week, according to his account on X. And Israel has expressed skepticism over Hamas' claim that it needs time to determine the fate of 34 hostages it has offered to release. The offer comes amid ongoing conflict on the Gaza Strip, where 16 people were killed on Monday, and the occupied West Bank, where 3 Israeli citizens were killed in a bus attack. Despite months of mediation efforts by Qatar, Egypt and the US, both sides continue to blame each other for stalled negotiations. Hamas has requested a week-long ceasefire to assess the hostages' status, but Israel has rejected this proposal. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia had suffered heavy losses in 5 months of fighting Ukrainian forces in southern Russia's Kursk region, with nearly 15,000 killed.
During the Kursk operation, the enemy has already lost 38,000 of their soldiers in this direction alone, with nearly 15,000 of their losses being irreversible. The Russians have deployed their strongest units to the Kursk region, including soldiers from North Korea. It is important that the occupier cannot now direct all these forces to our other areas, in particular to Donetsk region, against Sumy, to Kharkiv or Zaporozhye.
Well, Russian President Vladimir Putin night attended an Orthodox Christmas service with other worshippers at Moscow's Church of St. George the Victorious on Monday. State television showed live clips of Putin inside the church as Orthodox priests conducted the midnight service known as the Divine Liturgy. Putin lit the candles at the church. The president later traveled to the Cathedral of Christ the Savior, Russia's chief Christian temple, where he met with Patriarch Kirill. Many Orthodox Christians, including those living in Russia and Ukraine, celebrate Christmas on January 6th and 7th. And Polish Foreign Minister Radzslaw Sikorski said the most natural and durable solution in peace negotiations between Ukraine and Russia was a return to Ukraine's internationally recognized borders.
The most natural and durable solution would be a return to the internationally recognized Ukrainian borders. These guarantees were given to Ukraine in the Budapest Memorandum, and Putin signed and ratified the border treaty of 2004 between Ukraine and Russia.
President Vladimir Putin.
Well, moving on, the Brazilian Air Force announced that it had completed the extraction, acquisition and validation of data from the flight recorders of the plane crash in Kazakhstan in December. The statement said that work to extract data from 2 flight recorders was completed on January 4th, and all data was handed over to the Investigation Authority of Kazakhstan. The operation was carried out by the Flight Data Recorder Reading and Analysis Laboratory in Brasilia in collaboration with the Aviation Accidents and Incidents Investigation Department of the Ministry of Transport of Kazakhstan. The analysis of data extracted from the flight recorders and the information to be released in a final report by the Investigation Authority of Kazakhstan. The Embraer plane crashed near Aktau, Kazakhstan on December 25th, resulting in 38 deaths. And moving on, the first major winter storm of the new year swept into the U.S. mid-Atlantic states on Monday, closing down federal offices and public schools in Washington, D.C. The U.S. National Weather Service said about 5 inches snow had fallen in the nation's capital by 8 a.m. on Monday, with up to 8 inches in some surrounding areas of Maryland and Virginia. The imposing U.S. Capitol building was barely visible in the snow, and the weather brought early morning commute to a standstill. Streets remained largely empty, barring a few pedestrians who shuffled in the ankle-deep snow. The storm also left more than 330,000 homes and businesses in the central and southern U.S. without power on Monday. Governors in several states, including Kansas, Kentucky, Arkansas, West Virginia, and Maryland, have declared states of emergency. Many flights within, into and out of the United States had been cancelled or delayed due to the weather. The unusually cold temperatures are expected to linger for the rest of the week. And amid the whiteout, Washington residents, including a playful dog, transformed Meridian Hill Park into a winter wonderland for the Great Meridian Chill Battle of 2025, a snowball fight organized by the DC Snowball Fight Association. The snowball fight included a person dumping snow off a shovel into a fellow participant and a dog gleefully catching and eating snowballs. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. Preparations on in full swing in Prayagraj for Mahakumbh as NDRF carries out mock drill and police intensify security in their bid to deal with any challenge. Pongal festival nearing, yet pot making sees slack in Manumadurai. And in sports, Indian contingent is all set to compete at the Malaysia Open Badminton Tournament starting from today.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Nipakshi Khurana and moving on. Big news just coming in. A massive 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck Nepal-Tibet border early on Tuesday. Tremors were felt in Kathmandu and Indian cities of New Delhi, Siliguri and Patna. The quake's epicenter was located approximately 91 kilometers from Lombok in Nepal. Emergency response teams in Nepal and India are on high alert to assess the impact of the earthquake. Officials are closely monitoring the situation and have urged the citizens to remain calm and prepared for possible aftershocks. And moving on now, an outbreak of human metapneumonia virus on HMPV in China has raised alarm globally. Several countries, including India, are monitoring the virus and its spread closely. While India on Monday confirmed its first 3 cases of HMPV, 2 in Karnataka's Bengaluru and 1 in Gujarat's Ahmedabad. All the cases have been detected in children. The Indian Council of Medical Research is closely monitoring the situation. In view of the ongoing scenario, Union Health Minister JP Nadda issued a statement in which he said the health systems and surveillance networks of the country remain vigilant, ensuring the country is ready to respond promptly to any emerging health challenges. There is no reason to worry, he said.
Have clarified that HMPV virus is not a new virus. It was first identified in 2001 and it has been circulating in the entire world since many years. HMPV spreads through the air by way of respiration. This can affect persons of all age groups. The virus spreads more during the winter and the early spring months. On recent reports, the cases of HMPV in China, the Health Ministry, the Indian Council for Medical Research and the National Center for Disease Control are keeping a close watch on the situation in China as well as in the neighboring countries. WHO has taken cognizance of the situation and will share their report shortly with us. The country data for respiratory viruses available with Indian Council for Medical Research, ICMR, and the Integrated Disease Surveillance Program has also been reviewed and no surge in any of the common respiratory viral pathogens is observed in India. Joint Monitoring Group meeting was held under the chairmanship of Director General for Health Services on 4th of January 2025 to review the situation. The health systems and surveillance networks of the country remain vigilant, ensuring the country is ready to respond promptly to any emerging health challenges. There is no reason to worry.
And India's Home Minister Amit Shah will launch a Bharat Poll portal developed by Central Bureau of Investigation in New Delhi on Tuesday. The growing footprint of transnational crimes, including cybercrime, financial crimes and online radicalization, necessitates rapid and real-time international assistance in criminal investigations. To address this challenge, CBI has developed Bharat Poll portal, accessible through its official website, which will bring all the stakeholders on a common platform. Bharat Poll portal will significantly facilitate Indian law enforcement agencies, enabling real-time information sharing for faster access to international police assistance. The portal will streamline the processing of all requests for international assistance through Interpol, including the issuance of red notices and other color-coded Interpol notices. Well, Home Minister Amit Shah will also present police medals to 35 CBI officers and officials who have been awarded the President's Police Medals for Distinguished Service and Union Home Minister's Medal for Excellence in Investigation. And US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan called on Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi on Monday and assessed advancement in the India-US Comprehensive Global Strategic Partnership over the past 4 years. PM Modi appreciated a letter sent by US President Joe Biden, handed over to him by Sullivan. Recalling his various meetings with President Biden, PM Modi appreciated President Biden's contributions towards strengthening of the India-US Comprehensive Global Strategic Partnership, which leaves an enduring legacy. PM Modi reaffirmed his commitment to continue to deepen close cooperation between India and the US for the benefit of the people of the two countries and for the global good. PM Modi also conveyed his best wishes to US President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden. And some updates now on Mahakumbh Mela, the sacred congregation to be held in North India's Prayagraj from the 13th of January. National Disaster Response Force team carried out the mock drill as part of the Mahakumbh preparations. The drills conducted at Arel Ghat aim to make the devotees and refugees believe that agencies like NDRF are ready to deal with every kind of challenge in their service.
उसके पास हमारे पास विशेष गोताखोर हैं, कुशल तैराक हैं, हमारे पास स्पीड बोट हैं और ये सिर्फ दिन में नहीं, रात में भी इस चुनौती से कैसे निपटा जाए उसके लिए भी हम तैयार हैं। उसके लिए हमारे पास अंडर वाटर टॉर्च है। कुल मिलाकर उद्देश्य एक ही है कि हमारे अंदर भी आत्मविश्वास आए और जो बाहर से श्रद्धालु और स्नानार्थी आए उनके बीच में विश्वास आए कि इस तरीके की एजेंसियाँ, NDRF जैसी एजेंसियाँ आप सबकी सेवा के लिए यहाँ पर उपस्थित हैं।
The Uttar Pradesh police has heightened security measures for a safe and grand celebration. Personnel are checking all vehicles and identity cards of individuals entering the area. A bomb squad has also been stationed nearby for any eventualities. The Central Reserve Police Force, Provincial Armed Constabulary and State Police are all collaborating on this effort. Uttar Pradesh Police has also deployed thousands of AI-powered CCTVs, underwater drones and state-of-the-art facilities for visitors and devotees. Mahakumbh is also set to prioritize cleanliness in unprecedented ways. For the first time, a QR code-based monitoring system will be employed to ensure the cleanliness of over 150,000 toilets across the fair grounds. The system, managed by 1,500 volunteers, will allow real-time cleanliness assessments. Reports from the app will be sent directly to a control room, alerting the vendors to attend to any maintenance needs within minutes. And on to some weather update. The national capital remains under the grip of a cold wave on Tuesday following Monday's light rainfall in several parts of the city. Brief improvement in visibility is being observed after 3 days of dense fog. Chilly winds kept temperatures low. According to the Indian Meteorological Department, Delhi recorded a minimum temperature of 9 to 10 degrees centigrade and a maximum temperature of 17 to 19 degrees centigrade. IMD in its 7 days forecast for Delhi has predicted rain and thunder showers showers on 11th and 12th of January. Experts have predicted that this might bring some relief from the deteriorating air pollution. Well, with the harvest festival Pongal nearing, pot making usually takes fast pace in India's Manamadurai in Tamil Nadu state. Manamadurai pottery, known for its geographical indication tag this year, however, has seen a slack in the process owing to unfavorable weather conditions. This is threatening both the availability of traditional clay pots and the survival of a craft that has supported a generation of artisans. And in sports news, India's HS Prannoy will face Canada's Brian Yang in his opening match at the Malaysia Open on Tuesday. This is the first time since Paris Olympics that Prannoy will return to court. Prannoy has not been in action since his exit at the hands of compatriot Lakshya Sen at Paris. Sen will be up against Taiwan's Chi Yu-yen in the opening round of the tournament. Meanwhile, in the men's double event, India's sole representatives will be Satwik and Chirag. The duo will take on Chinese Taipei's K Tang and NC Lu in their first round match on Wednesday. Captain Harmanpreet Singh struck a brilliant brace as Surma Club fought back to beat Delhi SD Pipers 3-1 in the penalty shootout in the Hockey India League match on Monday. Harmanpreet's double penalty corner conversion levelled the scores 2-2 before the ever-reliable Vincent Vanash asserted his class to thwart three Pipers strikers in the shootout. Surma equalized in the closing minutes when Harmanpreet showed his brilliance, scoring from another angle to convert the team's fifth penalty corner. Vivek Sagar Prasad, Nicholas Keenan and Boris Bakhat scored in the penalty shootouts, while Vincent Vanash pulled out 3 saves to snatch the bonus point for Surma Hockey Club. And we get you more details on the breaking news coming in. We just told you a massive 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck Nepal-Tibet border early on Tuesday. Tremors were felt in Kathmandu and Indian cities of New Delhi, Siliguri and Patna. The quake's epicenter was located approximately 91 kilometers from Lobuch in Nepal. Emergency response teams in Nepal and India are on high alert to assess the impact of the earthquake. Officials are closely monitoring the situation and have urged the citizens to remain calm and prepared for possible aftershocks. And now we are joined by our correspondent Shweta Singh from Kathmandu on the phone line for more. Well, while we are joined by Shweta, we can tell you again, a massive 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck Nepal-Tibet border. Early on Tuesday, tremors were felt in Kathmandu and Indian cities also. The cities of New Delhi, Siliguri and Patna. Well, the quake's epicenter was located approximately 91 kilometers from Lopoch in Nepal, and the emergency response teams in Nepal and also in India are on high alert right now to assess the impact of the earthquake. Breaking news coming in, massive 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck Nepal-Tibet border early this morning early on Tuesday, and officials are closely monitoring the situation and have urged the citizens to remain calm and prepared for possible aftershocks. The earthquake was of high intensity. A massive 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck Nepal-Tibet border early on Tuesday morning. The tremors were felt in Kathmandu and Indian cities also, Indian cities of New Delhi, Siliguri and Patna. And now we are joined by our correspondent Shweta Singh from Kathmandu on the phone line. Well, Shweta, a massive earthquake there, 7.1 is the intensity. What is the situation there? Please tell us.
Actually, in the morning, actually around 6:50, when I was cooking tiffin for my kids, I felt a strong. Actually, I had a headache and I was shaking. I thought it's my low BP or what that the shaking is felt. But later on, I realized this is not normal low BP. This is an earthquake thing that is intensifying, and then one is having a headache sort of feeling in the morning. So you see here in Kathmandu also we felt a strong tremor that. Sitting in the house, I didn't see, observe things moving, but it was a severe headache and a nauseating type of feeling. And as you see, the intensity is very high. And it is Lubuche and Khumbe region near Everest. Lubuche is actually like 24 families stay in that village. Being epicenter, you see Nepal is, most of the time earthquake are coming here. Even I think a week back, there was again aftershock of Jajarkot earthquake of 4.2 Richter. So being Himalayas, it is prone to earthquake, but this is really high, 7.1. And I think the impact will be in Bangladesh, China, because it is closer to the border of China. So, see, this is really, I think, in our, we will know what damages it has caused.
Okay. Also, Shweta, any information, do you have any information on injuries or any casualties at the moment?
Actually, you see, it happened just a bit back. It was like 6:50 a.m. we felt here in Kathmandu, and 6:30 it is reported to have come in Lubuche. So yet we have not known any casualty as not, but as the sun rises, I'm sure information will be flowing in. The moment it comes, we'll update our viewers.
All right, Shweta, thank you so much for those details. Well, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. Well, we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.